Alright, welcome to the Grimden quick tip video. Now I'll make this short because honestly I don't want to be on this game right now. And plus I got something to do that does not involve me recording this game. So either way, welcome, Grimden's tip video. Now I'm explaining every skill to the best of my abilities from top to bottom. And honestly, I'm gonna just give y'all some quick tips and everything else with them. Now when it comes to this character, he's a very close range character, meaning that if you're not a person that does not like characters that have very small limited range, this character is not for you. He's the fastest character in the game right now, and he's the one that can actually do the consistent amount of crit damage. Yes, we know land can crit, but honestly, Grimden's kind of taking his spot in my book. So either way, let's go to the first things, which is going to be your active. Let me pop a SP potion real quick. First thing we're going to talk about is cleave. This can be activated either out of your aerial smash or your silent leap, like that, or out of your silent leap. Now with that skill, it crits a lot, does a lot of damage, but most of his skills you have to be behind the boss to actually do your maximum damage. Now, you can do this as much times as possible as long as you have SP and as long as you're doing either one of those two skills that I talked about. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is Spine Snap. Now Spine Snap is a very self-explanatory skill. It says it right there in the name. You have to be behind the boss to actually get your maximum damage out of this skill, which is that. It can crit also, but honestly you have to be behind the boss to actually do maximum damage with this skill. The cooldown for it is very short, about like 10 seconds if I remember correctly. I wasn't paying attention, and you could use it over and over and over as long, no, 15, over and over as long as you're behind the boss, and it will crit and do a lot of damage. Now with this skill, it can also work from either the left or the right of the boss, but it has to be angled to the boss's back. When it comes to this character, if you're in front of the boss, you're not doing maximum damage. With this character, all of his skills will do more damage if you are behind the boss. Very simple. Very, very simple. Now, Agile Strike is basically your normals. They count as smashes also, meaning you will lose stamina. So you're gonna have to really pay attention to that because this character is very stamina dependent. It also has an extension that can go into your aerial smash, like that, by just holding down your normal key, and then you can do it. You can do it out of any of your normals, any of your dot smashes, like that, over and over and over. So that's a quick little thing on that. So you just have to worry about your stamina, and you know that it has an extension that can go into aerial smash right there and then. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is Decimation. There is 3 ways on how to actually use this skill. Well, 4 ways if you count the combination of another skill. By the way, there's 3 levels of this. You can use it stationary. You're gonna have to set it in the option key. The option settings. You can use it stationary, and it will make an X on the boss or any mobs in the area, and you will do a backstab behind them. With that, it has a cooldown. Or you can do it on the move, which is pretty cool. Creates an X, like I said in the first one. Teleport behind whoever the X is on, and does a backstab that can also crit. Or you can do it the normal active way, whichever you have it set up to. Now for me, I have everything set up differently. For me, I have it set up on mouse 5. For you, it's going to be tab in the options. So you're going to have to set that if you want to change it up and do whatever. But with this skill, there is a simple way on how you're going to actually do this. At every beginning of every raid and every boss you're fighting, you're going to want to charge it, get it to level 3, let it go behind the boss, do your damage, etc. and etc. And then teleport to your after image, and then just use the active version of it and teleport behind the boss and then damage. Or you can do the simple method that is just charge it up, put the X on the boss, teleport behind him, use your active skill, go behind him, do another backstab, and then you get double the damage, which is great. Do know when it comes to the active version, the quick slot active version here of it, you do need at least 125 SP to actually be able to use the skill. But at the beginning of a run, it doesn't matter if you have SP or not. You can just use the level 3 version, and you'll just teleport behind the boss right away. You don't really have to worry about SP that much when you're just using the stationary version. Yeah, just simple much as that. I don't want to get into it for too long because honestly I'm already running out of breath. And I've already done this about like 50 times already, and it's just getting more annoying the more I do it. Now the next skill we're going to talk about is your Mortal Arts. Mortal Arts, you can just press your smash key. You can do them out of your Agile Strike as a combination to just do maximum damage on everything else. Your second smash goes into your third smash, vice versa, and etc. and etc. Pretty simple skill. You can cancel all of them by just using Occluded Soul like that. But you gotta find the timing down for it. You can't just spam it, because if you spam it, you'll just basically miss the timing. Simple much as that. You can do it the same also with all of your normals and vice versa, and etc. etc. But yeah, with that, it's just your smashes. Increase damage the more rank you have it, of course, and it can reset the shadow ambush. Oh god. You can reset the damage of it so you can actually do more damage, vice versa, over and over and over and over. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is Occluded Soul. It is your block. The input for it is very small, meaning if you block too early, you'll get hit. If you block too late, you'll get hit. Because most bosses in this game, their hitbox is very weird and finicky. Sometimes you will get hit out of it, even though you block perfectly, but honestly, that's just how it is. Now the options you have out of this skill is Aerial Evasion, and you can either use the S variation or the W variation. Simple much as that. Now it can be cancelled with Agile Strike, so you can constantly do it over and over. So let's say you're blocking a boss's multi-hit pattern, you can just block, do that, and block again, and then you'll be able to block everything. But the majority of the time you are going to want to use Aerial Evasion to just go behind the boss and just do whatever, depending on your decision. The next skill is going to be Rapid Smash, which is your dodge smash. It comes out very fast. You can do it over and over and over like that. It has two extensions out of it. You can either do your LR, which actually goes into your second normal, which can go into your second smash like this. Or you can just do your RR right after, which just goes into your second smash and your third smash right out of it. Now, what I recommend is always doing your LR just to get more damage out. Depending on the situation, you're either going to use this or this. But at the end of the day, it depends on the situation and what you want to do at the end of the day, honestly. You can just spam it over and over and over and over and over. As long as you have stamina, you can spam it over and over. Do know once you do it, you are using Silent Step at the same time, so both of those consume stamina, like that. So the next skill we're going to talk about is Shadow Ambush. Now when it comes to Shadow Ambush, you're going to have to set it in your options. Is that you're going to have to set it. It's an indicator. You can turn it on and off. Basically it gives you like 3 different things. It gives you red, orange, and blue. Red means Shadow Ambush does not apply, meaning you won't do more damage. Orange means Shadow Ambush is applied, but it won't be doing the maximum damage of what it needs to be done. And blue means you can do the maximum damage, basically his best potential, full potential, etc. Now, you don't need to turn this on. This is how you do maximum damage. Be behind the boss. Plain and simple like that. Be behind the boss, and Shadow Ambush will be activated and applied. So what? You can do more damage. Simple much as that. It's a very stupid indicator, and it just takes away from the game, but that is my preference to have it off. You can have it on if you want, but it's your decision. That's basically all that skill does. Silent Step is your dodge, of course. Simple much as that. I've been doing it this whole time. The more rank you have it, the more invincibility you will have. Now with this, you can use it as a movement method with your Agile Strike, meaning your normals, and you can use it as a movement method to get from point A to point B. This is it slow, and this is it, okay, my input delay is disgusting, and this is it fast when you just can't, come on, silent hop. Okay, you basically get the gist of it. You're seeing it over and over, but I keep messing up because I have input delay. But once you really get the timing down for it, you can actually just cancel the entire animation and just be able to get from point A to point B and just cancel a lot of your animations. This animation here can be canceled like that. Like the ending animation where you slide back, you can cancel it by just doing that also. It's gonna be a little bit weird in runs. You can actually do a double silent step if you do it right. But yeah, I can't really demonstrate right now because I have input delay, which is disgusting. So yeah, Silent Leap. These are basically your two evasive moves. Silent Leap is a pretty cool thing. It gives you aerial smash like that, and you can do whatever you can out of it. Or you can use it as a way of how I've been using it to just take less damage from red unblockable hits. So this is a weird thing with Grimden, is that once you do Silent Step into a boss that is doing their red moves, you take a very tiny amount of damage that you would normally not take if you just took the move head on. Now with this skill, basically it just gives you this animation here at the end, but it is very limited with range, and then you'll be right there in the boss's face and you'll take less damage. The maximum damage you'll take out of it if you're literally use the skill into a red unblockable move is about like 250 damage tops. Sometimes it will do 150, sometimes it will do 200, but it depends on if you do it at the right time. If you do it like a little bit too early, you'll take a lot of damage. If you do it a little bit too late, you'll take a lot of damage, but the majority of the time you're going to try to avoid red moves anyway, so it's really not that important. But it's just a quick thing, just a thing to keep in the back of your mind. Like, if you can't dodge that red move, you might as well just take that shit head on like that, right? So the next skill we're going to talk about is Aerial Evasion. It has two variations, the W or the S. The S just dodges you backwards, and you have very limited options that you can do out of that. You can either do another Occluded Soul, or you can do a Silent Step right out of it. Or you can just do the W variation that actually teleports you behind whatever you block, and then you can just do your consistent damage out of that, and vice versa. Now with this, it can be blocked. Now with this, it can be done over and over and over. It says it has a cooldown, but as long as your back is faced towards the enemy or boss, you'll be able to do it over and over and over and over as long as you got stamina. So that's a quick thing to keep in the back of your mind. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Aerial Smash. Like I said, you have very crazy options out of this. You can just do that. You can use it out of your normal extension or out of your Silent Leap. And basically you can just use Decimation out of it, or you can just use an Evasion like that and then just cancel the animation. Whoops. With a Silent Step. Just cancel the animation. A lot of this character's moves can be cancelled. So as long as you're... Stupid input delay. As long as you learn the cancelling down, you won't have to worry about it as much. Dark Charge. Now Dark Charge basically, once you do the Aerial Evasion W version, which actually teleports you behind whatever you blocked, you'll leave an after image behind. Now with that after image, you can teleport to it and do whatever. Now there's a couple of options that you can do out of this. You can teleport to your after image, and you can use Decimation right out of it to actually just go behind the boss, do a backstab and do more damage. Or you can use it as a way to retrieve stamina back, which is pretty cool. Depending on the more mobs you pass through, it will give about 50% of your stamina back. But if you're just passing through a boss or just one mob, it will give you about 15 to 20%. Not much, but at the end of the day, it's better than nothing. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is your active, which is Phantom Strider. Phantom Strider here changes the properties of your Silent Step. The time for that is 154 because I have it at max. Now, this is how it looks. It's a quick movement option. You can use it to get from point A to point B, dodge things. As long as you're getting it down right, you can be able to dodge everything. Do know this is the animation that you need to, as long as you have stamina, this is the animation that you need to actually dodge over and over and over. You cannot dodge Dula's ground AoE move with this animation. The end animation like that, you cannot. So what you're going to want to do is at least make sure you're actually in the starting animation like that, and you'll be able to block it. I mean, dodge it is what I should say. So that's just one thing you have to keep into the corner of your mind. It's a pretty simple thing. As long as you have stamina, it's pretty good. And it also gives you stamina restoration over time. So if you do that and you pop a stamina potion, you'll basically never run out of stamina. Almost. You'll never run out of stamina, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there is that. That also gives you the option to actually use Strider. Actually give you the option to use Kasana. Now Kasana, you're gonna have to set it. It's basically the same thing you have Decimation set up to. You're gonna do that, and whatever key you have Decimation set up to, you're gonna try to phase through a direct attack from the mob or boss. Now there's two ways on how to do this. Well, one way, but they have two variations of it. You can phase through the boss and just normally click whatever key you have set Decimation to and just use it, and that will just do damage. Or you can do the extended version of it by just phasing through the boss, pressing the key that you have Decimation set up to, and then just click right click and it will slow down time and it will stun the boss or any enemies or vice versa in the area, which is pretty cool. Just know that you have to phase through a direct attack. Now when it comes to this skill, you can use it about 3 times, as long as you got stamina, of course. You can use it 3 times, but the more times you use it, the more the timer for Strider will go down. So like if you use it once, it will take away about like 60 seconds. And if you use it a second time, it will take away about like 40 seconds. And if you use it a last time, it will just take away the entire thing of Strider. So that's a quick little thing just to keep in your mind. That's just how the skill works. You can use it about like 3 times. If you use it right away coming out of Strider, you'll be able to use it 4 times, but like the time is very limited and those 5 seconds go by very fast. So if you can get it down, you're all good. As long as you have the SP and you can get it down, you're perfect. Simple much as that. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is Million's Dagger. Now Million Dagger is an active skill that can be used to dodge AoEs, unblockables, and it actually does a lot more damage once, of course, the direction that you are, or the direction of the boss. So basically all his skills, if you're behind him, it does more damage. If you're behind him, you do more damage. I don't know how much times I'm going to say that, but that's just how the character is. It's a pretty cool skill. If you're about to get hit with an unblockable, or if a boss is about to do a red move or something, just use this skill. You're safe. You're set. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is Lethal Crosscut. It's your ultra skill. It has a running up animation. Does not do that much damage, but all the ultra skills don't do as much damage as what they're meant to do. So either way, once you use this skill, of course, you have invincibility. And if you miss the running animation, you're most likely screwed because you just wasted 1000 SP and you're on that 20-minute cooldown. But that is life. So that's basically Grimden. He's pretty self-explanatory. Some things might have been a little bit difficult when I was explaining them, but I was trying to do this very fast because it's about to be New Year's and I want to take a break from this game. Plain and simple like that. I'm kind of annoyed playing this game in Windows, and I think this might be the final Vindictus video that I will do that will be 16:9, honestly. By the way, we'll see how that turns out in the future. I do got an update video that I will put out to the channel that will most likely go up after this goes up, and then you'll be able to basically understand what I'm going to do. So anyway, that is it. Hopefully I enjoyed this quick tip video. If I rambled about a couple of things, I'm sorry. I'll try to have at least text on the screen, but knowing how lazy I am, that most likely won't happen. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.